This shot is going to be off the wall. Bam! What? Aw, chicken cheese tender biscuit. Woo-wee!
Alright, Game Changers, welcome back to another video here today. Never have I wanted to punch someone more in the face than the person I just witnessed in the intro.
Ooh, tough guy.
And I'm not even a violent person. The amount of cringe I saw was absolutely off the charts.
It's over 9,000!
And I know that I can't be the only one thinking that either.
I mean, you're not wrong.
In fact, I know that I have a subscriber who specializes in exterminating cringe. So Marcus the Hellgast, if you're watching this, you know what must be done.
It will be done, my lord.
Now when it comes to love, I think we've all heard the saying before that love knows no bounds and no distance.
Yes.
But what if I told you that there was a woman living in the UK who fell in love and married her now husband living in Detroit, Michigan over Zoom without ever meeting him in person?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You just can't make this stuff up. But before I show you guys that clip, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter so you can follow all that I tweet out. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to become a part of the game-changing community here, because I cover viral videos, trending videos, and videos that, of course, make no goddamn sense. Anyways, if that sounds interesting, let's get into it.
I'm Aisha and I got married to my husband who lives in America over Zoom, even though we haven't met in person yet.
So this was the article I read after this was suggested to me by my boy Jack of all trades. So shout out to him for sending me this my way.
Bless you.
If you guys happen to like Call of Duty and Halo commentaries, then I suggest you check out his channel in the description and let him know that I sent you.
Yeah, boy.
We started talking because I approached him, put on my big girl pants.
Now real quick before I continue the clip here, because it doesn't share this information, she met him in a Facebook group during lockdown last year because she was wanting to find a pen pal.
And I messaged him first. I got his information from his mum.
So Aisha initially spoke to a woman called Kenda, who was the mom from Michigan, who told her that she had a son called Darren who was of a similar age to Aisha. She then passed her son's contact details on to Aisha, and that's how the pair started chatting as friends in July of 2020, but were soon inseparable and on the phone to each other every night, even with the 5-hour time difference.
And then messaged him, he messaged me back, and then kind of just went from there. I think my first impressions were that it was really weird, because I remember when we first spoke on the phone, and I think we both kind of expected it to be awkward because like we'd only really messaged each other and we'd never heard each other's voices or spoke, but it was kind of like we'd already spoke to each other before, like it wasn't like it was the first time that we spoke to each other.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I've ever had a pen pal and never felt the need to. Have you guys ever had one? If so, how did that work and why did you do it?
And I think the first impression was just how easy it was for us to talk to each other. Like there was no awkward silences. It wasn't like there was nothing awkward about it. I think we realised like pretty fast that it was turning into something more than just being friends.
Give your meat a good old rub.
Well, to be fair, because it was like literally only a couple of weeks after we first started talking where we turned it into a relationship, not just friends.
Holy cow, things move fast nowadays. Real fast. And after only a couple of weeks, I didn't know it was possible to move that quickly into a relationship. I mean, maybe in person, but online? I learn something new every single day.
So I think it was pretty, it kind of naturally just went into that. Like it was just, I don't know, it was kind of just like that's what it was supposed to be from the start. It wasn't, I don't know, it was pretty fast that's just what it turned into.
I just got tingly all over. What the fuck?
Date nights, the different. So we have like some date nights where we don't really do anything different. Like we'll just be on the phone FaceTiming and we'll play Fortnite or we'll watch a movie. But when it's a date night, like it doesn't matter what we're doing, we don't answer the phone to anybody else, like any text or anything. We just talk to each other. Whereas other times we might get dressed up and we'll order each other's food. Like he'll order for me, I'll order for him, but we don't tell each other what we're ordering. Or sometimes we try and order the same thing so that we're eating the same thing. But yeah, most times we don't really do anything mega special. It's just, we just kind of make sure that we're just having time for each other.
Okay, so this part or this segment really is kind of normal for a long distance relationship. You kind of have to keep up with the other person and do what you have to do in order to keep in contact and keep that spark going. So actually, this is the most normal part of this whole clip.
So I didn't tell my parents for a little while. I think just because I didn't really know myself exactly where it was going to go or exactly how long it was going to go on for, because I mean anyone's like that when you get into a relationship, like you don't know how long it's gonna last for. But then I think it was my dad, because obviously there's like a 5-hour time difference, so because obviously I still live with my parents, so he'd walk past my room at like 3 o'clock in the morning and he'd hear me on the phone. And I think one day he just came up to me and he was like, so who's this guy that you're on the phone to, like until the early hours of the morning? And then I told them, and I think they were like a little bit reserved at first just because he's there, I'm here, we hadn't met each other. But then obviously the more I was on the phone to him, the more they were talking to him as well because they were here. And I think obviously the more that they got to know him as well, they kind of were okay with it and like they came around because they knew him.
Sometimes I feel like I'm turning into a relationship channel, but other times there are some things that make no goddamn sense. But everything that you heard for the most part was pretty normal, right? But the fact that they haven't even met and decided to marry, because that's an online thing now. You can actually do that. I didn't know and I wasn't aware. That's the part that makes no goddamn sense. So come to find out from reading the article, she and her family, her mom and dad, all booked flights to Detroit for the 23rd of July, 2021, hoping to go and meet Darren. But unfortunately, the US was still restricting travel from the UK, which meant that Aisha and her family weren't able to fly directly. Hoping to avoid the ban on UK arrivals, but determined to meet her boyfriend in person for the first time, Aisha flew to Mexico for 15 days before catching an onward flight to Detroit. But in another heartbreaking turn of events, Aisha was then turned away at US immigration because an immigration office claimed that she didn't have enough money in her bank to support herself during the stay and didn't have strong enough ties to the UK. Aisha then said that I think they thought that if they let me into the US, then I'd never leave because of Darren. His address was listed as where I was staying on my tourist visa, and they asked my relationship to him, so when I told them that he was my boyfriend and they saw I'd been in Mexico for 15 days, I guess they thought I tried to outstay my visa. I would never have done that, and it was so heartbreaking to be so close to him in the same city, but not be allowed through the border. I was put on the next flight home and cried the whole way back. Oof, you hate to see it. That truly is, that's pretty sad actually. That's actually pretty sad if I'm being serious. But man, still, the fact that you haven't physically met and then decided to get married, I guess maybe I won't understand it, but at the same time, the thought of it is still a little bit perplexing just because it's marriage we're talking about, okay? You're physically not there and you just decided, I mean, I get it. You're in love. You obviously have had a lot to go off of all the time that you've been talking, but marriage is something entirely different once you've actually met in person. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's just what I think. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell to be notified every single time I upload a video. Now with that being said, this is GCP signing off.
Ah, chicken cheese tender biscuit. Woo-wee!
Shut the fuck up!